So how important is this debriefing of accredited observers at the 2019 general elections?
Yeah, it is very important to our general elections and subsequent elections. If you look at it, the essence is because we are the one on the field as at the time the election is taking place. So we'll be able to give a report back to the INEC, who is the body to conduct elections. Then on the basis of our report, they will now look at it, which area they needed to improve upon and where have they performed well. Issue of security, issue of logistics, issue of layout, issue of voters accreditations and conduct of the observer itself, and the issue of collations, which are the major bottleneck in terms of elections manipulations. So this is why we have to have this debrief in order for the INEC to have something to take home, to look at it on this area they needed to improve in subsequent elections. This is why the briefing is important.
What are those things you would like to critique so that the INEC can, your submission to INEC, your recommendation, what are they?
Yes, if I in our own group and I'm me as a person who was able to take part, who has been on the field, on the ground, the area where I'm going to critique and the report will be centered on is on the coalitions. Because if you look at it, there's mutual suspicions within our political parties. Anywhere the INEC tried to do something more better, one party will say no, INEC is compromising. So on this basis, we have looked at it that we need to invest more in the process than the results. But most of our political parties and the candidate are more interested in the results rather than the process. And the process is what gives birth to the results. So these are the area from polling unit to ward coalitions, to local government coalitions, to state coalitions. Where I'm looking at it, there should be law that will tie both the parties, agent, the political parties agent, the candidate and the INEC body together, whereby if they go against such law, that part of it can be used as nullifying the elections. So these are the area, because coalitions is a major problem. If anybody is telling you today that INEC compromise, but to prove it is the problem, simply because the certain arrangement has not been able to making sure that you believe in what has happened. Let me give one example. If election has been conducted at the polling unit, counting has been taking place, you are taking it to ward coalitions. There should be an agent of each party at the ward coalitions center, so that before the INEC official will receive it from the field, both the party will be now in tandem with what is coming from the field. On this basis, you will now see that if the law has tied them together, it is easy for you to say the election has been manipulated. Where there's no manipulations, the party will tell you INEC has compromised. So these are part of my observations and what I've studied and the gap, which will look at it, the law will now be able to come and back it up.
Okay,
yes, it's another thing for us to send the report. It's another thing for the INEC to implement it. In fact, one of the suggestions I'm going to say here is that let INEC now go beyond issue of just being sitting down. They should come up with an act of a law that through the civil society it will be able to use, the law will pass through, because the National Assembly are politicians, the executive are politicians. Sometimes when a law comes to the National Assembly, then the dominant party or whatever will now look at it. If it does not favor them, they will not agree. The same thing when it goes to executive. But we are looking at where a system can be stand and strong the test of time, because after all, the chairman and the INEC commissioner will leave.
Your observations as well and your recommendations.